The student everyone called a failure. Until the exam paper that changed everything was found in the trash. The hallway of Rizal National High School always smelled like old paper, sweat, and disappointment. At least, that's what Marco Dela Cruz thought every time he walked through it. He wasn't just a student there, he was the student teachers whispered about when they thought he couldn't hear. Again? He failed another quiz? That boy has no future, look at his grades. Even the way they said his name felt heavy. But what they didn't know was that Marco didn't always fail because he didn't understand. Sometimes, he failed because he stopped believing that understanding even mattered. It happened on a Thursday afternoon. The classroom was unusually silent after the midterm exam in mathematics. The teacher, Mr. Salcedo, was flipping through answer sheets with a cold expression. Then suddenly, Marco Dela Cruz. Every head turned. Marco stood up slowly, heart already sinking. Mr. Salcedo didn't even look at him when he spoke. 0. Again. A few students laughed under their breath. Someone whispered loudly, expected. But what happened next changed everything. Mr. Salcedo slammed the stack of papers on the desk. I've never seen someone try so hard, and still fail so consistently. Tell me, Marco, do you even care? The room froze. Marco's throat tightened. His voice cracked when he answered. I care. I just don't know how to be enough. That sentence didn't sound dramatic. But it landed like a crack in glass. After class, Marco walked out alone. The corridor felt longer than usual, like it was stretching just to mock him. Near the trash bins, he heard voices. Just throw it there. It's not like he'll ever pass anyway. Laughter. Then. Thud. A stack of exam papers hit the bin. Marco stopped walking. His name was on top. He slowly picked it up. And what he saw made his stomach drop. It wasn't just his exam. It was something worse. There were comments written in red ink. Waste of time. No improvement detected. Probably should stop trying. His hands shook. And then. Hey. A voice behind him. Mr. Salcedo stood there. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Marco whispered, barely holding it together. Sir, was I really that bad? The teacher didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked at the trash bin, then at Marco, then at the papers. And said something unexpected. I didn't throw that away. The next day, something strange happened. Mr. Salcedo walked into class carrying a different stack of papers. He placed them on the desk. Those results you saw yesterday weren't yours. The room exploded. What? Sir, what do you mean? Mr. Salcedo looked directly at Marco. I switched your paper by mistake with another student's. Your real exam was in the trash bin. Silence. Then chaos. Marco's heart pounded so loudly he could barely breathe. Mr. Salcedo continued. And the real score. He paused. Was 89. The class gasped. Someone shouted, no way. But Marco didn't move. Because the number didn't feel real. It felt like it belonged to someone else. Marco's voice broke. So, all this time, I wasn't failing? Mr. Salcedo nodded slowly. No. You were improving. Then the teacher said something that hit harder than any grade ever could. But we almost convinced you that you weren't. The room went silent again. Because everyone realized something uncomfortable. They weren't just watching a student struggle. They were part of why he started believing he was already lost. Weeks passed. Marco didn't become a genius overnight. But something changed. He stopped studying to not fail. He started studying to understand. Late nights, broken pencils, erased pages, frustrated tears, still there. But now, there was something else. Hope that didn't disappear when things got hard. One afternoon, Mr. Salcedo found him alone in the classroom again. "You still here?" Marco smiled faintly. "I don't want to lose myself again." The teacher nodded. "Good. Because the world will always have people ready to throw your paper in the trash." He paused. "But it's your job to prove it still belongs on the desk." Moral lesson. Sometimes, the world will label you before it understands you. Sometimes, people will judge your potential based on your worst moment, not your real ability. But failure is not always proof of inability. And being underestimated is not the same as being incapable. The real tragedy isn't failing once. It's believing the failure defines you forever. So if you are struggling, remember Marco. Not the boy who failed, but the boy who was almost thrown away until the truth was finally seen.